Is going to go over the concept of a ratio and using ratio language to describe a ratio relationship. So the first thing that I want you to do is to pause the video and write down this definition. A ratio expresses the relationship between two quantities. And then write down these three different ratio relationships: part to whole, part to part, and whole to part. Pause the video and write that down. Now, when you come back, there's going to be a little bit more notes on the next slide. So here we go to the next slide. And we're going to do an example of what does it mean by part to whole, and whole to part. So in this example, it says a basket of fruit contains 6 apples, 4 bananas, and 3 oranges. What is their relationship? So we've got apples, bananas, and oranges, and then we've got a basket of fruit, all of the fruit. So if there's 6 apples, 4 bananas, and 3 oranges, that means there are 13 pieces of fruit altogether. So if we look at bananas to apples, that is part to part because bananas are part of the fruit basket and apples are part of the fruit basket. And so the ratio of bananas to apples, bananas has to come first because the word says bananas first. So it would be 4 to 6. There's 6 apples. And with ratios, you can think of them as a fraction relationship. So you can also write it as a fraction, and you can simplify it just like a fraction. So if there's 4 bananas for every 6 apples, that also means there's 2 bananas for every 3 apples. The next one we have bananas and apples to oranges. That's another part to part. Bananas and apples. So we've got 6 apples, 4 bananas. That's 10 bananas and apples. And 3 oranges. That's another part. So 10 to 3. For every banana or apple, for every 10 banana or apples, there will be 3 oranges. And then this last one here is a part to whole. So the oranges will go first, and then all of the pieces. So there are 3 oranges. And remember, there are 13 fruit altogether. And each of these can also be written as a fraction. Go ahead and pause the video and copy down each of these examples and then come back. And I'm going to go through some sample problems. Okay, so a paint mixture contains purple paint and brown paint. There are 12 parts of purple paint for every 5 parts of brown paint. So we've got 2 parts. It's purple and brown mixed together. So there's 12 parts of purple, 5 parts of brown, which means altogether 12 plus 5 is altogether there would be 17 parts of paint in all. So that's something to keep in mind at the beginning. So it says select the statement that is correct. So only one of these will be correct. So we'll just check each one. The ratio of parts of purple paint to parts of brown is 12 to 17. That's not right because there are only 5 parts of brown for every 12 parts of purple, so that one's not right. The ratio of brown to total parts of paint is 17 to 5. Since it says brown first, the brown number would have to be first, and the brown number is 5, so that is not right. The ratio of total parts of paint to parts of purple paint is 17 to 12. So the first number would have to be the total parts, which is 17. The second number would have to be the purple parts, which is 12. So this one looks correct. But let's check the last one just to make sure. 5 parts of purple for every 17 parts of total. That's wrong because there are 12 parts of purple for every 17 parts total. So this one is correct. These ones take a little bit of careful reading because you have to make sure that things are in the same order. All right, a gumball machine contains red and white gumballs. It has 7 red gumballs for every white gumballs. Drag the correct value into each box. The ratio of white gumballs to total gumballs is, so white gumballs, we had 5 white, so we would put the 5 here, to total gumballs. Total gumballs is not 7, that's the red. So total would be 7 plus 5, which is 12. So 5 to 12 would be the ratio of white to total. A game has red and black pieces. The ratio of red game pieces to total pieces is 3 to 13. So that means there are 3 red and 13 total. Not 13 black, 13 total. So how many black are there? If 3 are red and there's 13 total, that means 10 are black. Sometimes it helps to figure those things out ahead of time. Now it says select the 2 statements that are correct, so we got to find 2. Let's look at the first one. The ratio of total pieces to black pieces is 13 to 3. So there are 13 total pieces, but there are not 3 black pieces, so that is not correct. There must be 10 more black pieces than red pieces. 10 more. Is that true? That's a tricky one. It's not true. There are 10 black pieces, not 10 more black pieces. 10 more black pieces than 3 would be 13 black, and they're not 13 black. There's only 10. So that one is not correct. The ratio of total pieces to red pieces is 13 to 3. Total goes first. That's 13. 13 is the total, so that's right. And there are 3 red, so that's right. So this one is correct. And then the ratio of red pieces to black pieces is 3 to 10. That is correct because there are 3 red and 10 black.